A massive and dangerous weather pattern shift is now unfolding across the United States, and forecasters are warning this could be the beginning of a prolonged severe weather siege stretching deep into late May. A volatile collision of extreme heat, surging Gulf moisture, and powerful atmospheric energy is preparing to ignite repeated rounds of destructive storms across the Great Plains, Midwest, Mississippi Valley, and eventually much of the eastern half of the country. Large hail capable of smashing windows, hurricane-force wind gusts, and tornadoes could soon erupt across multiple states as the atmosphere rapidly destabilizes. Meteorologists are increasingly concerned that several significant severe weather outbreaks may target heavily populated regions over the next 7 to 14 days. The calm pattern is ending, and what replaces it could become one of the most explosive stretches of weather so far this year. Right now, the jet stream is beginning a dramatic reconfiguration over North America, opening the floodgates for repeated storm systems to slam into the central United States. A dip along the East Coast is already sparking isolated severe storms today across parts of the Southeast, with damaging winds and a few tornadoes possible. But this is only the beginning. By Tuesday and Wednesday, a strange and increasingly dangerous setup begins to take shape. A massive ridge of heat will expand across the southern plains, while disturbances dive out of Canada into the Midwest. Severe thunderstorms are expected from Kansas and Oklahoma into Illinois and Indiana, bringing threats of damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes. Then the atmosphere begins to fully load. By late Thursday into Friday, multiple storm systems are expected to eject out of the Rockies into an environment primed for explosive storm development. Forecasters are now monitoring Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for potentially widespread severe weather outbreaks across the central and southern plains. Every major hazard could be on the table: giant hail, destructive straight-line winds, and tornadoes. Saturday is increasingly looking like the most dangerous day of the period. States including Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas may face a highly organized severe weather event with supercells capable of producing intense tornadoes and widespread damaging winds. The I-35 corridor could become a major battleground for violent storms as powerful wind shear combines with rapidly increasing instability. And the threat may not stop there. By early next week, a much larger storm system could begin sweeping across the country, spreading severe weather from the plains into the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and deep south. Current trends suggest the period from May 15th through May 22nd could become exceptionally active, with repeated waves of dangerous storms targeting millions of people. Forecasters are especially alarmed by the amount of instability expected to surge northward into the central United States later this week. Warm, humid Gulf air, the fuel for violent thunderstorms, will rapidly expand across the plains as upper-level storm systems move overhead. This combination could create an environment capable of supporting long-lived supercells and major severe weather outbreaks. Even more concerning, long-range patterns show the jet stream remaining locked into an active configuration through the end of May. A deep trough developing over the desert southwest may continue launching storm systems into the plains one after another, keeping the severe weather threat alive for days, possibly weeks. The atmosphere is transitioning from a relatively quiet setup into what could become a hyperactive severe weather pattern across the United States. Today's severe weather threat remains relatively isolated, focused mainly across the southeast, including areas near New Orleans, Mobile, Savannah, and parts of the Carolinas. Damaging winds, hail, and a brief tornado or two remain possible this afternoon and evening. Florida will also see numerous thunderstorms developing along the I-4 and I-95 corridors. Tuesday brings another conditional but concerning setup from southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma into parts of the Midwest, including Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. A few supercells could develop during the afternoon and evening with hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes possible. Wednesday shifts the focus into the Northeast, where storms across Pennsylvania, New York, West Virginia, and surrounding areas could initially produce hail and tornadoes before evolving into a damaging wind event by evening. Thursday appears quieter overall, although isolated severe storms remain possible in parts of the Midwest and Northeast. But by Friday and Saturday, confidence increases that the atmosphere will become far more dangerous. Forecasters warn that if storms successfully develop Friday, the environment could support significant severe weather. However, Saturday currently appears more certain for organized storm development across Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and surrounding states, with additional scattered severe storms extending east toward Kentucky and north into Iowa and Minnesota. Then by Sunday and Monday, the threat zone may expand dramatically as a larger-scale storm system develops across the central United States, potentially unleashing widespread severe weather from the plains into the Midwest. This is not a one-day event. The atmosphere appears ready to reload repeatedly through the second half of May, raising concerns that multiple rounds of dangerous storms could impact the country over the coming weeks. Millions across the plains, Midwest, South, and East Coast should closely monitor forecasts and prepare for rapidly changing weather conditions.